Hutchings.
Yes.
Mr. Summer.
Here.
Mr. Souders.
Yes.
Ms. Steele. Mr. Cook.
Here.
I don't know the order on the agenda, that was through the primary building first, since I,
Okay.
is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have more handouts here if somebody needs one. I didn't. There are handouts for the, you got one there?
I'm sharing.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, I've probably got 4 or 5 documents from the architect and from the insurance adjuster and so forth, and I just had to go through and glean the best information that I could on the difference in cost to the district for renovation of the primary building or demolition of the primary building. And again, these are estimates, these are good faith estimates from Ross Construction. For this amount of money and this amount of bid, there would have to be bids done, but there's no reason to think that they wouldn't be very, very close to these amounts. So there could be a few adjustments, but if the bid for, let's say, repair is, $10,000 higher, there's no reason to think that the insurance company wouldn't pay for that if it's good faith. So I think we can count on these numbers being pretty true here. Okay, so under renovation, the estimated renovation cost, $940,000. And then the settlement, the insurance settlement is broken down there. And it looks like if we would renovate, the cost to the district would be about $102,000 we would have to kick in. And remember, there's a $2,500 deductible also that's in there. And then of course, the architect fees. So that really makes up a lot of that. Then for demolition, it would be the actual cash value of repairs, and we would not get the $181,000 depreciation. This was the argument that I had with the adjuster, because I swear he told me in that hallway that we would get it and that would be profit to the school district, but he says, no, he never said that. So, and then, so that would, if I'd call him tomorrow and say, we are going to demolish the building, they would send us a check for $563,000 and the rest there. And then we would we would have to bid the demolition, but our architects think that would be the amount, pretty much right there, $455,000, which would be a difference to the district of $108,000. So those are the facts. You all got to tell me what you want to do.
Are you sure I understand this, okay?
Yes.
To repair the building in order to give it to Head Start, it's going to cost us $102,894.
Yes, ma'am.
To take the building down, we are going to come out ahead $108.
$108,000.
$108,000.
Yes. That's what this says.
Does Head Start have any money to contribute toward that $102,000?
Well, we have a grant for $370,000 that we had got to make renovations to the building. However, that's not, I had no idea why there was $102,000 there, because it may or may not be $102,000 once it goes out for bid. But what we have our money for is to make, repairs and things to the building. I don't know what this 102 would be for, so I would have to see what it'd be for before I can make that call.
Well, first of all, we have a deductible of $2,500. We have to, we would have to pay $2,500. And then the rest of it would be the architectural fees, which would not be covered, I'm pretty sure, by the insurance settlement. I think that's why that came up. Anyway, the insurance company could look at the bid and come up with the full amount of the renovation. I don't know. This is pre-bid. This is what everybody's estimates are. Nobody knows anything until we go out to bid. So which one are we going out to bid on? So I don't think we can go out to bid on both of them. Well, I suppose we could. If that's what you say to do, that's what we'll do, but you'll be paying the architects to do that, because that's not, they have to bid the demolition of a building would probably take a tremendous amount of architectural work on how this has to come down first, this has to come second of all. And to bid the renovation of the building is going to have a lot of, it's going to take this much concrete, it's going to take this much that, and so I think you would only want to bid one or the other.
don't think we can stand a loss on anything. You can't put out no more money.
Well, that's,
According-
right, that's what I was gonna say, I don't know if we can do that, but,
I mean,
guess
if they're willing to
Grant
pick
was
up
like
$102,000.
heating and air condition, or the,
put
Now,
some of
our
that-
grant was probably gonna cover a lot of the things that was
Right.
in this,
that-
so, I mean,
that-
it's
that
going to
we're
be a
already,
benefit.
right, that's already being repaired, that part of this,
It would
Free
probably
repair
be
cost.
covering a lot of those
A lot of
things
that.
anyway.
that's what I'm
Hmm?
wondering.
but we would need to know that.
We need something in writing, it ain't gonna cost us $102,000.
We don't have it,
No, we don't.
we just don't have it.
Right.
I mean, if y'all can get back with us and you can cover that amount in writing, up to that amount, I mean, I ain't got no problem, but I
Well,
mean,
it could be more than that, I mean, that's,
Well-
but I think the insurance company would cover anything above that if we can justify it. It's kind of like, you know, they pay for your roof and you get in there and find out that the lightning, you know, actually tore down the chimney too, so you go back to them and say, hey, you know, this, and I think that's what adjusters do, they, you know, it's an ongoing process.
what's your recommendation?
Well, I was hoping we would make $300,000. I would have to stick with I didn't know these numbers until today. I have to stick with the money. I have to follow the money on this because of the situation that we're in. My heart, though, is to say, you know, we probably should cooperate if we can with the Head Start, but the solid final recommendation, I'm following the money. That's my job.
Well,
Did I give you an answer there?
Yes, you did.
Okay, all
Yes,
right.
you did.
I personally would, I wish we could figure out a way to do this because we have a lot of children that have low income that need the Head Start guidelines. And personally, I wish we could find a way to do
Yeah.
this.
That's,
But I kinda had hoped that,
I would hope we could get repaired and not be out of
me too.
any money.
even
This
$108,000, I don't mind not getting that for them to have the building, because that's $108,000 we didn't count on.
Right.
But I do mind spending 102 that we don't have.
If there was a way, I would be totally acceptable for renovation if there was some way to use your grant money to get us at zero.
Well, I am sure that when you start actually looking at some of the repairs that were needing to be covered or needing to be done to the building, for example, there was, we have to redo the windows anyway, and so we had costs in there to redo the windows. I had costs in there to redo the heating system and the air system, so the repair of whatever the current heating system is wouldn't need to be done. There was money in there to do the roof, and other things. You know, I mean, I don't,
It wouldn't take much to come up to 100,000.
no, it wouldn't.
That's what I'm thinking.
Also, just throw this out there too, that was the only facility we had where we could actually put on a drama or anything else, because you had the stage and you had the roof.
Correct.
Now that we don't do this, we've eliminated another group of kids. That's all they do, because, you know,
And
and
we,
it's still, you know, if it's repaired, we still have another gym. I mean, there's gonna have to be some cooperation too, you know, my understanding is, you know, if we go this, you know, that we have the use of it for the plays and stuff, you know, there's gotta be.
and that had already been discussed,
Yeah,
and it
but
also
what I'm
had
saying
been
is, you know, that-
discussed.
I hate to see it taken down and we eliminate that.
It was
program.
always
We're
our
back-
intention
We're back to
for-
the
yeah.
cafeteria again.
It's always our intention for this to be a true community building. That, you know, even with, if this group gets the building in Brookport for the youth league basketball, this could still be an alternative site, for whatever. I mean, it was, you know, we had talked about working with the extension office, they were talking about putting a community kitchen in the building.
Do you anticipate any new repairs repairing the gym?
That was not a piece of it, because that wasn't in that. you know, when the things that we needed done. However, I know when looking at some of the cost for the gym, you know, one of the items was to repaint all the bleachers. You know, I don't know how much that was, but that's not necessary. You know, so I mean, when you start looking at some of the cost that was out there, some of those things probably don't need to be done.
I thought maybe you were going to demolish the gym since you're putting in a different heating system and
No.
since it would be a big expense to heat that
No,
gym.
no, we were not.
How long would it take you to get information as to how much actual money we can get?
I have the money right now, and I have to use it by the end of December, or I send it back.
I have a suggestion.
We don't want you to do that.
If we would tell the architect we're gonna repair and the insurance company, and we start about that, then is it possible that in the process, like, let's say when we get to the windows, you cherry pick that off and say, hey, we're paying for the windows, cause we want them done this certain way. And as soon as we get to $100,000, you've actually zeroed out our cost.
Correct.
That would do it.
That would- Because
Is that a plan?
It makes me happy.
really, you all have looked all over the metropolis, and all in agreement, there's really not any other facility that could still be as useful as what this building is for you all. And it serves a lot of kids, they're gonna all be all, as you said before, our kids. If we can do something like that, and like I say, zero it out, I think it's a win yet for everybody. And we're still, we're back to where we was gonna be, what, 6 months ago, or however long ago, it's all this come about. I like that, I like
So
that.
I'm gonna take a motion that we go with renovation.
But, I mean, it's a question, I ain't got no problem with that, I like some of it. But I'm not sure it's not gonna cost us nothing, I mean, legally. Can we do that? Can they do that? Up to they pay for up to 100 and,
Well, I
2,000.
think we would have to start identifying pieces of this that they pay for that would get to $100,000, with the goal meaning being the insurance money that we get plus whatever they pass
Right.
out
I just want it
would
done-
equal zero.
Right,
We
I
don't
have
wanna
no
make any
problem with
money, we
that.
just don't wanna pay any.
but I don't want us caught in a catch-22 situation where the insurance company says, hey, you know, you're taking a kickback or something like that, because this is not being done, or it's being done, but they're giving you money for it. I just don't wanna be caught in a catch-22 situation.
First of all, if we had, if the insurance guy quoted you one thing and backs out of it, why are we even interested in keeping insurance with that?
Well, I mean, cause we need them to pay.
Well, I know, but
But
what
you
I'm
mean
saying
down the
is-
road, yeah,
Down the road, I mean-
we can easily tell the broker that we don't wanna deal with these people.
Because, I mean, you
again.
have something happen with Franklin, you have something happen in high school, well, they're gonna come here and tell you one thing and do the other.
Of course, they could be sitting in a boardroom saying the same thing.
I know.
Why would we keep that school district, you know, with it?
Get rid of that old building.
Because we directed that tornado, hey, right over here, you know.
So one spot in the top, we need to hit that one.
I'm just kinda, you know,
You're right.
when they tell you one thing and then they do other, time to ditch.
So should we make the motion that we would repair pending a guarantee that they would?
No, first of all,
You can't do that?
she can't guarantee
Okay.
anything at this point because, you know, like Mark said, if there's a catch in here that the insurance company doesn't like, we won't know that by now, and it might take 3 months to get a response to that. So I think what you do is say, we're gonna repair, and we have an understanding here that you're gonna try to pick off some of these repairs to get us to zero. I think that's the best you're gonna get out of a motion here. And as a matter of fact, I think the idea of Head Start helping with the repairs shouldn't even be part of the motion. It's our building, it's up to us to
And
fix
it's
it or
our
not.
children that we have to
Yeah.
think about. You're gonna be helping these kids tremendously.
And you know, when we look
They
at
help
that,
every year.
you look at that, you know, down here, yeah, we may have gained $108,000 here, but without this program or something going on, you know, we're gonna spend that in the long run somewhere later redoing that.
In only a few, in a short amount of time.
Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Roach,
Yes.
Mr. Summer,
Yes.
Mr. Souders,
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll call the architect tomorrow and tell her to get started, and I will discuss with her immediately about getting some protection on that roof to start protecting it immediately. So we'll work with that too. I'll tell her that probably the day before I leave.
There is one thing that we need to consider, because if this does take a long time, because there was, and I'm not real sure what to do about it on either end, because there is a pipe, I believe, that was in the far room that was part of the,
Far room, I don't know.
the far classroom, the one on the end that was messed up, that was part of the boiler system. Now, we weren't gonna use the boiler system, cause we were putting in something, gonna put in a different, whole unit, but there's no heat in that building. And if this, if the weather, I don't know when everything will start turning cold and how
You
fast
definitely
all
don't
this
want
will
all those
work.
lines to freeze.
Exactly.
They need to either be,
So I'm not sure what to do at that point, because our cost was gonna cover putting in, a whole other heating system, but
Well, there's nobody here that's gonna be able to answer that.
we're not gonna answer that right here.
I know, but I wanted to bring that up because
I'll mention that in the email to the architect that
Yeah, that
we
I
could
don't know
have a
what
chance of,
Yeah.
that there's no heat in the building, and we need to know what kind of a timeline we're looking at, so
since
I'll mention that.
takes them a long time to do things, that's
Well,
what I worry
construction's
about.
different than people talking about money,
Right.
where's the money gonna flow, but once people find out if they do the work, they get the money, you saw how fast that addition went up over there.
Mhm.
It took us a year to decide to build it, but it didn't take that long to build it, so.
Right.
Okay. Next on the agenda.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Brookport building, if you want, or we're gonna talk about the Brookport gym. If you wanna hear that, feel free to stay. If you don't,
All right.
I'm not asking you to leave, I'm just saying we're done talking about you right now.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot, and so do the kids. Yeah, they will.
Well, I'd like to say before you leave that this Brookport gym hopefully is gonna be something that the community can use. So you
Right.
guys can probably use it too.
And the building, once it's done, as well. It's not just for us, so.
Next year, we can be back to serving all of them instead of just a part of them.
Exactly.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the board's last direction to me was to find out how we get the building back, and, the attorneys recommended what they called a quiet title, which is, she says, according to the lease that we have with them, we absolutely can get the property back through a court order. It's a simple action we draft for the district, and I said, well, that's what the board said to do, so let's go for it. So they have, started putting a petition together for the court. I guess that's I don't know what a petition is. And they're gonna share a draft before they file it with me. Now, I have not seen the draft yet. I know they're working on it. So I guess the question is, are we going to need to go to court to get the building back, or are there other options?
Well,
Yeah, this is my cue for Donna to talk.
Okay. All right. I talked with, Mayor, Brookport last week, and he doesn't have any problem if the district wants to take the building back. He understands that it's ours to take back. He said, in fact, he would help with some kind of quitclaim deed or whatever it took to, get it back. That's one option. He said the other option was they were prepared they had money in the budget to, tear it down, demo the building, and give the property back to the district.
I've never been in a meeting where we've discussed tearing down a building.
I'm
This
just
is
telling you
two in
that's
the
what-
same day.
that's just what he-
Two buildings
See,
are teared down.
didn't they get a grant for like $100,000?
Anyway,
And that should go with the property.
well, I told him I felt like that we would like to, get the building back and, in turn give it back to the betterment community, that's correct? And,
Now, getting the the building back is what we're really talking about.
Yeah.
Giving it to them is something I haven't really checked on, and because, I mean, what kind of a group are you? I mean,
It's a 501c3.
okay, then I think that wouldn't be
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
But I would advise the board not to go into this, you can have it until you do this. So
Sure.
if you
No,
get it,
we
you
can't
get
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
We just gotta get it, we gotta get it back first. And like I say, Mayor Clapper was, he was
And
fine, I mean, it'd be on
If I could, I don't know if I'm supposed to speak or not, but if, what Mark's talking about is, it's not a grant. The grant was part of a 5-phase grant that they got through the tornado and all that stuff. It was for $85,000 to tear it down, that was phase 5 of the grant. They also got $127,000 for the repair of the building.
So that part needs to go back.
Okay, now, it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's another $60,000 and $80,000, that if the building was repaired, it was our understanding that the insurance company would kick that money in as well. But now,
He didn't
I don't
say anything
know.
about that.
No, he
You
wouldn't.
may have to discuss it.
Okay.
I don't know
But-
much
Once we
about
get the
that.
building
And the
taken.
reason, and we got some of that information whenever we
I
got
know the
the,
city's been taking some stuff out of there.
so, but anyway, that's just, it wasn't a grant,
Right.
the 120,000, 127 was actually insurance payment for the tornado damage.
All right.
Okay, so,
I want to go back, but I want a paper trail with it. I just don't want somebody saying yes and yes and yes and yes.
Right, well, I think that's what there was, that's what he was.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know,
oh, sure, that's what it's gotta
there's
be.
no agreements out
No.
there, you know.
Oh, no.
Paper
So we
trail.
got, so I can have our attorney say, okay, they're willing to just sign the building back over to us, so you want me to work on that? Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanna ask a question
I
about
think
that.
that was last week, our discussion
I
now.
wanna ask a question about that. If we get the building signed back over to us, and then for some reason we find out we can't give it to them, we are stuck with the building. Is that gonna happen?
No,
No?
no,
I don't,
they want it back.
right, we're,
Yeah.
and they've been operating the library on nonprofit for years, and I mean, we've got a plan for it, we've showed you guys the plan, so, yeah, if there's any way in the world for us to get the building, we're gonna try to get the building, okay?
Our pennies
Linda, I
are just
think
so
that-
tight.
I-
Right, and we don't want to
have
do
take
anything,
down
yeah.
the building.
Right, exactly.
I think that if we couldn't give it to them, we could probably sell it to them for $1, one of those deals
Oh,
or
okay.
something. And I
Okay.
know we can sell property, and we could probably sell it for bid. Somebody bids $2, well, we might have to give it to them, but we'll see. But if they're the proper nonprofit, I don't know why we couldn't pass it to them just like we did the city. But that's not legal advice, I don't have the certificate to give you that. If I did, I'd charge you what they make.
And you do have that 501K.
Yeah,
too.
no, 501.
501C3.
501(c) or
Yeah.
something like that.
And you can go on the internet.
I've got the number, in fact, I looked at the number today on the internet, but I didn't bring it with me, so.
Because I've got the GoFundMe page ready to go, when I just put Brookport Betterment
process
Committee,
to-
it all come up, so, yeah.
Make a motion, we start the
Start the
process
process
to
to-
repossess the building.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Ms. Grace,
Yes.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Ms. Rushing.
Yes.
Mr. Summer.
Yes.
Mr. Souders,
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Get used to making the audience happy, Board, because it's not gonna happen all year.
Y'all done a lot of good work today.
Yeah. And,
I was gonna say, the motion to adjourn, we don't have that.
Second.
All right, thank you. Roll call, Lisa.
Ms. Grace.
Yes.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Ms. Rushing.
Yes.
Mr. Summer.
Yes.
Mr. Souders,
Yes.
and Mr. Cook.
Yes.